I'll never forget a moment after I joined my club, Ballymena. And the chairman that year was a man called Paddy Owens. And I've said this a number of times and I mean it. I'll never forget, after about 2 or 3 games, he called me over and he says, "Come here, son." And he came over and we sat in the corner of the clubhouse. And he says, "Listen, son," he says, "do you know why we play this game here?" And I said, "Well, it's good fun at the end of the week, and it's great to meet new people, and people coming from all over the place, and we're travelling down to Dublin and Cork and Limerick, and we're meeting new friends all the time." And he says, "Listen, son, I'll tell you why we play rugby here." He says, "We play rugby here," he says, "to develop young men for life." He says, "to teach them tolerance and understanding of their fellow man." He says, "We teach young men here," he says, "and prepare them for the world outside. We teach them how to win, how to be successful. And probably," he says, "more important, we teach them how to cope with disappointment." And that's very important, because life is full of disappointments. And he says, "This club is about people. People first." And he says, "We have standards and principles that we stick to." And he said, "Everybody is welcome through that gate of ours if they stick to those standards and those principles that we have." And he said, "This club is about family and it's about community." And you know, ladies and gentlemen, isn't that what you're doing? And I congratulate you on that, because that's why we play sport. And certainly when I look back to those days, sometimes now I think, sometimes in the professional world that we have we forgotten why we really get involved in sport? I hope not. I hope we always stick with those standards, those principles that was taught to me in those early years.